Alright, so as that has started now, we're going to go ahead and kick into the game. So this is game 3 of our, AirMech Friday Night Flights, hype stream match. We got Minx, Valinor, and Boomhower for Archetype. They won game 1 on Thar. And then we have Broadside, Triplicity, and Tangibility here for Grizzlywing in the blue on the right. They won Game 2 on Veil. This is your sudden death match. Whoever wins this takes bragging rights, at least for the time being, into what is Friday Night Flights, what is competitive AirMech. So, we do see that standard start from both teams, bringing some tanks up, doing some damage to these front units to get them to die real quick. One thing I always have to mention is you can see they're leaving them black smoking. The reason for that is if you kill them before that time runs out, you don't get any experience. Kill them after, you get that experience. So we do see, Archetype going quickly for this top here, doing a lot of damage with these Dillos, with these Longhorns, moving as much as they can there, trying to get this power station. That power station is going to be very, very crucial, as it's the only capturable outpost that can actually give you a benefit on this map. And it does look like Broadside going to go down here. And Boomhower still K99, some other various units. Triplicity using those rockets, trying to take Boomhower out. And this is really the battle right now. Archetype managed to get it. They're dropping out some more Dillos, doing as much damage as they can. This is going to be theirs for the time being. Moving down to the bottom, we get that standard artillery war you always see between these two very close outposts. Anytime you can look at the screen and spectate and see both outposts at the same time, you know there's going to be an artillery war. With that close proximity, it just bodes so well for an artillery war, which makes this map so hectic at times. Damage flying around all over the place. Look at that! A Warthog! A Warthog! That was fantastic! Yeah, and really, with this map, I can't say that it's newly changed anymore. I mean, it's been, 5 months since it was changed, but this hole you see in the middle used to be one outpost. Those 2 outposts didn't used to be down there. It used to be only 2 outposts on the entire map. However, now we have, 5 total outposts, 2 which are uncapturable, which happen to be factories, which, will allow you to build 20% faster. So, on this map, it's smaller. There's a lot of close quarters artillery war combat, stuff like that. And both teams have a continual 20% increase to their build speed from the get-go. So it just makes the map so hectic. And we do see a lot more artillery coming in from Archetype than we do from Grizzlywing. I mean, it's basically a 3 to buttload right now, 3 on buttload. But right now, this is where the battle's at. Archetype has taken that top outpost, which is going to give them the advantage in power. Boomhower almost going down. Minx almost going down as well. Broadside making great use of that Warthog with Tangi on the ground behind him doing heals. What a great combo right there. You saw it. You saw it right here. Broadside hovering right here. Tangi right here just up and healing him while he's doing that mass load of DPS, just keeping him alive for I don't know how long. He was sitting there for just so long. But Triplicity on the ground doing as much damage as he can to these Longhorns right now. Tangi healing up stuff with that Ratchet, helping him out, but that Ratchet now gone. That's really going to hurt their healing chance right here. As we can see, the only healing unit out for for Archetype is that Osprey in Minx. So Tangibility and Broadside working together as much as they can. Tangi running out of energy, so we can't heal Broadside anymore. But they managed to take out a couple units up there on the top. That combo right there, if they can continue to do it with Triplicity kind of hanging out above them, helping out, making sure that they don't die. This is going to be crazy right now with the way that Grizzlywing is playing. Archetype had such an advantage right there, but that play from Broadside and Tangi, just making it impossible for them to keep things alive. I look forward to seeing more players start to use that combo right there. Definitely Aramec helping Aramec, making it just so that you can't keep a unit alive. It does look like Minx trying to drop a couple Seekers in those trees. Broadside almost going down. Tangi and Trip, body blocking for him, keeping him alive. And up here we do see Broadside up trying to do a little bit of damage. They do have some defensive Seekers there helping them out, keeping Broadside or any other archetype player away. And here's the thing, if Grizzlywing can continue what they were doing, though Valinor coming in with that chopper, kind of trying to eliminate them. And here's the thing, Minx still not, mimicking what, there it is. There's the mimic right there. And that's what you see high tier players do. They see something that their opponent is doing rather well, and they immediately can mimic it. And they don't, without any thought really, they mimic, exactly what their opponent is doing. And it just makes for very interesting, very even gameplay. Oh, what is this do we see up at the top? But Jackals and Infantry coming down on this power station. But they're quickly destroyed. But that does occupy Valinor for the time being. And we have zippers again. This outpost is neutral. 2 bulbs up, 4 green. Can they get more? This could be the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Minx healing and overhealing that... Oh, that zipper. And probes coming in. They managed to get it, but Valinor dropping a set of bombs on that group of probes, taking out the majority of them, but just not enough, just not in time. And Minx picking up as much salvage as she can. Look at that. Look. Just free salvage for her right there, giving tons of credits back to her teammates. And this game right now, dunce capped pretty much over for Grizzlywing. It's just a matter of them turtling up at this point and maybe making a push out. But you know what? I shouldn't call it too soon. I've seen many a games here on Twin Peaks where there's been a dunce cap for the majority of the game, but the team that's dunce cap just keeps building and building and building a force. Then all of a sudden it makes a nice push, and the game ends up ending. So back here at the fortress, we do see a lunchbox and 2 Dillos. Lunchbox not on a pad, so it's not going to provide any type of shielding effect for that fortress. But, I mean, very minimal defenses there for Archetype. Valinor almost going down to that double team. Manages to get away. Broadside about to go down as well. Not Broadside, Boomhower. The 2 Bs in their Warthogs. Does look like there's a little bit of damage coming in on that blue fortress from some infantry. They are down now, and you can see Grizzlywing trying to do all they can, just kind of do something to get out of this rut they're in. Right now they're building tons and tons of Longhorns, but it looks like we do have some rebels on the way. Where they come from, I don't know. But it does look like we do have Tangibility building them. They are all in queue right now. And Boomhower in trouble. Manages to get back. Minx coming in trying to help, but I didn't really need to. And right now you just see, the artillery being built. And can they push up here on this fortress? I mean, not a lot of defenses right now. Maybe if they went all in, they might be able to do it. But they have plenty of artillery, plenty of anti-air. We see 4 Seekers just hanging out there, and an Aegis. So, do they really have what they would need to push? We do see 2 players, Triplicity and Broadside, doing some damage to this fortress right now. Broadside with that Hero Hog Tangibility and healing him up. What they need to do is Broadside needs to move backwards a little bit. Oh, and what should have happened right there, you saw Broadside here and Tangibility here getting hit. What they needed to do was swap places. That Golly would have continued to hit, it continued to hit Broadside. However, in the meantime, Tangibility would have stayed alive, healing him, not taking any damage, and they could have definitely probably put a lot more damage on that. Something for them to go back and watch again and kind of, you know, pick up maybe a little bit later. I mean, doing that block, it's one of those things. I used to do it back when I played a lot on, like, Sandrum. Drop down 2 tanks with their butts to the cliff face and then stand in that corner with my Osprey. I could not be shot by anything except for, say, maybe you know, Warthog really wasn't around that much then, but maybe a chopper getting that perfect angle with the rockets. But Minx going down to Broadside and Trip. But, you know, using blocking techniques to save your Osprey's health while it heals everything, just one of those things in the game that, you know, takes a lot of skill, a lot of know-how. It can definitely be the turn in the tide. We have a little bit of a hog-on-hog action here. And Boomhower goes down to Tangi. That Osprey doesn't have a tickle cannon anymore, ladies and gentlemen. In the air, definitely a, you know, a somewhat okay dogfighter now. And it does look like, you know, Green might be doing a little bit of overextending. Broadside doing that hero hog again, getting on the side there. Triplicity doing the same. And, you know, Tangi, if he were to actually be in here, might be able to help. But all 3 players from Archetype taking out both Triplicity and Broadside. Power play on their hands right now. Tangi overhealing everything at their fortress. Bringing a couple of rebels down, too. I mean... Oh, we have a gully drop on the front door. Valinor going down, but miraculously he was getting a lot of health from seemingly nowhere. Definitely an interesting sight right there. A quick jump on that front door. Both teams, you know, kind of getting some income right now. You can see Blue definitely getting more as Broadside putting some, and Triplicity putting some damage on that front door, stopping the income gain, and now they have to heal up a little bit before they get any more income gain, and it's over. The income gain is over at 4 minutes. So, I mean, definitely Grizzly Wing using that to their advantage, getting that early DPS off on that fortress, and then stopping the gain from that by putting more DPS on it. And they definitely had a lot more credits than their opponent at that point. Ooh, I see something cool. And probably not even seen. And that could be kind of that turn in the tide. We will see for the time being. I don't kind of want to give it away. It is a 1 minute delay, but I mean, it takes a while to do stuff like that. And there it is, Boomhower walking up. You know, he's going to be able to clear this out as easily as possible. Most likely he saw those mortar shells coming in from that Bertha. And now 2 players from Archetype. All 3 players up there now doing as much as they can. Tangi on the ground healing. Gonna attack Boomhower. Boomhower's going to go down to Broadside and Tangi. So no more Warthog. Valinor moving something across the long gap. What is it? What is it? It's a gully. So yeah, Tangi doing his best he can to heal. Healing Broadside now at this point, keeping him alive. And that has been their go-to all game. Tangi healing Broadside. And Broadside about to go down now, but I mean, this is a battle. This is a huge battle. But we do see a little Bertha on Bertha action. 2 Berthas for Archetype. And Valinor just so quick with moving those gullies with all that load capacity, with those boosters, and with that chopper upgrade. It's just, yeah, so easy to carry those gullies with that mech. It does look like we still have infantry coming up on this fortress. Not a lot defending it. A couple of tanks. A lot was used to kind of, you know, move in and try to take out this middle. But Minx once again garnishing the credits from that salvage. Going to get a lot there from that Bertha. How about this, guys? You like this? Sad part is I can't use the I can't use the mini-map when I do that, but whatever. Tangi about to go down. Tangi does go down to Boomhower. Boomhower with the double kill. I didn't see. Did he get the hat trick? Oh, Disfire, Spotty Liquid, were you watching? Did he get the hat trick?
Well, Boomhower went down instead of Tangibility.
I'll have to go back and see if that was a hat trick, but that was definitely a double kill at least. Minx about to go down, but Valinor coming in, body blocking. Instead, Broadside going down to Valinor. Tangibility doing all the healing he can on that Bertha there. Only problem is I'm pretty sure he's taking damage while he's on the ground there, which means he's only doing 25% of his normal damage, or his normal, healing per second. And Boomhower moving up, doing a little bit of attack on these units here. Tangi doing all he can to keep that Seeker alive. Bertha's rolling out, Golly's rolling out on the other side, and slowly Archetype moving up their Gollies, trying to put some pressure here on the fortress of Grizzlywing. We are coming into 30 seconds out from quarter 4, and this is yet another big battle by these two teams. Grizzlywing doing as much as they can to stay alive at this point and turn the tide. I mean, this map, you can never count any team out, even if they are dunce-capped, like Grizzlywing is dunce-capped now. That's a lot of talking, and I have no more water left. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, here we go. More Bertha fire coming in both sides. We do have 2 Berthas here for Archetype, whereas we only have 1 over here for Grizzlywing. I mean, and we got 3 over here. And if they moved those Berthas up, I'm not too sure that they couldn't hit stuff over here. I mean, I'm pretty sure they can, bridge that gap. And if they get put on the very front of this cliff, and then Golly's facing away from them on the backside, they're going to be completely protected, doing a lot of damage. It's one of those things, you would like to see them at least try. I don't know if they know more than me about that, but I could swear that Berthas could hit that range. Instead, they're worried more about this outpost here, trying to do as much as they can. Tangibility goes down. Broadside taking out Minx a little bit earlier. Valinor taking out Broadside. Triplicity taking out Valinor. So it's a 1v1 right now. Who can win? Is it Boomhower or Triplicity? And Boomhower not firing into the air. Boomhower, I'm pretty sure, could out DPS that chopper between those rockets and his ground to air. I'm pretty sure the Warthog would win that fight, but definitely something for testing later. So it does look like we do have that level advantage for Archetype. You got 10-9-10 versus 8-7-8. It's a good 2-level advantage right now. And usually that can kind of spell the end of a match. But, hey, like I said, you can never count out any team here on Twin Peaks. Though with all these Gollies and all these Berthas, I'm pretty sure Archetype has this pretty much locked down at this point. Especially with the very, very few units here in defense of this Grizzlywing fortress at this point. Broadside going down to Valinor and Boomhower. Boomhower picking up that kill. Tangibility and Triplicity sitting over that uncapturable outpost, doing as much damage as they can. Valinor about to go down to Tangi, but manages to get back. I just want to see that push. I want to see it. 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 So while we're kind of in the stalemate right now with not much else going on, I do want to mention Cookie Monster's still here, my friends. He's still here. He's waiting till the Cookie Monster unit is born again. Once that Cookie Monster unit is born again, he will be showing a lot more presence on the stream. Broadside going down to those Seekers with the help of Valinor and Minx there. Minx in trouble. Triplicity gonna try and get that kill. Does not. Valinor takes him down. We have an annihilation. And Where's the push? Things getting moved up quickly as they know there's no contention from Airmex. Broadside taking a lot of damage. Triplicity back up. Tangibility back up. But Golly's moving in support. There are Berthas firing. And this game is going to be over momentarily, though we do see Stasis Mines stopping those Gollies in their place, slowing them down so much more, so much slower than they already are. You know, units getting moved across the gap. And look at that. Golly's just coming out left and right from Grizzly Wing. Broadside almost down. Tangi down to heal him up so he can continue to fire. Tangi almost going down himself. Broadside down now. Is this going to be GG? Who knows? This might be GG, as we do have a few more units. And the sad part is they have all these Gollies up here they can ferry across. Valinor could be bringing them across, doing more damage to their fortress. But, yeah, I mean, it does look like Grizzly Wing, for the time being, has fended it off. Those Berthas still raining in a little bit of terror there on the defending units. But, yeah, I mean, the ability for a team to just take units out and just drop them in defense so quickly is one of those things that makes a push hard, so hard to do. The fact that instant defense can come out. I mean, you destroy all the defenses and all of a sudden there's 12 more things being dropped out in front of your line. It is kind of discouraging. And why you see a lot of games end up, you know, once Turtle Up happens, just going to overtime and ending that way. But for the time being, Grizzly Wing still kind of, you know, hanging on. We do see some Jackals here, you know, doing some damage to these units, to this outpost. Note that there are no ground attacking units here. So those Jackals doing all the damage they can, still not enough to really kill anything, but completely uncontested by other units. We do have level 4 creeps rolling out. And Boomhower trying to save a healer and maybe a Bertha? No, Longhorn. And we're at that point where, you know, that 2-level advantage is actually almost depleted here. Especially with that push and how much experience was given there to Grizzly Wing. I mean, that was a lot of experience just kind of gifted to them at that point. Well, not really gifted, but you know what I'm saying. Valinor taking out Triplicity with those rockets with a quickness. I mean, Triplicity trying to go put some damage on that front door to no avail. And it's just a matter of, you know, Archetype building another push. And here it is. We already have 4 Gollies out, a Longhorn, and, I mean, yeah. Maybe if they had brought over some of these units here from this outpost, as we do see Broadside take out Valinor and Tangibility take out Minx, so we do have a power play. Focus fire happening, but Broadside gonna go down to not to Boomhower, but to one of the units. But I mean, yeah, that was a big turn right there. You know, Boomhower coming up big for his team, taking out that Warthog. All 3 of his team, or both of his teammates up now again. Broadside still sitting on that sideline. Minx, you know, putting herself overextending a little bit. Definitely something you don't normally see. But, I mean, oh, Broadside about to take out Minx, does not. Minx gets back just in time. So, yeah, Grizzly Wing with 4 Gollies, a Longhorn, 3 Seekers, 2 Aegis, and another Longhorn down there, if you may. Oh, Tangi healing Broadside wins the B on B, the hog on hog battle right there. But Tangi having to retreat. This is all about Grizzly Wing, you know, getting some kills here. You see that quick placement there of that Bertha. Still not, at angle to hit any of those units. Oh, wait, yes it is. There it is. It is firing on those units. Those units are going to take quite a bit of damage if Archetype doesn't realize what's going on. But we do see that Triplicity, Tangibility, and Broadside moving up. Broadside doing as much damage as he can on the ground. A couple of Seekers to defend him. No Aegis, by the way. So those Seekers doing full damage. Not losing any of those missiles, but Broadside and Tangi, much like the beginning of the game, working together. Tangi going to go back and get some energy now. Broadside going down to Seeker fire. So Triplicity dropping a couple of Jackals, trying to neutralize this outpost, trying to weaken the the control that Archetype has over this power station. And here's the thing, I mean, look at that power. Archetype is at 24 power right now. If that outpost gets neutralized, most likely they're going to drop into the negative. Won't really be able to build anything until they get it back or lose some units. So definitely that might be what Grizzly Wing is going at right now. They want to get that outpost neutralized. Hurt them power-wise. They know they have a lot of power out on the field. They don't know exactly how much power the Archetype has out on the field, but I mean, with all those Gullies, all those Berthas, it's got to be a lot in their mind. We do have Berthas firing in from over here, helping out on that assault. 2 Berthas here at the back of these Seekers as well. But as you can see, artillery coming in from Archetype. We have 2 Archies and 3 Berthas just pelting in. Sorry, we have 3 Archies. 3 Archies and 3 Berthas. And that little push there from Grizzly Wing, all done, all taken care of. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's done. So yeah, still waiting on the end of the game. We are 40 seconds out of overtime 2, where we will start to see that bleed outcome from overtime 2, and then this game will come to a close. And yeah, once again, Tangibility with that heal on Broadside. But Broadside now going to go down rather quickly with no healer there. But Tangi getting energy and coming back, healing up Broadside. Making it back himself, saving his teammate by going to the ground and then coming back up. But we might be seeing the final push here as, these Gullies going in, getting moved in. Broadside taking Seeker damage. Valinor moving in, bringing back that that Gully, waiting for these other units to start moving in before they actually send in that force. It does look like we've hit that overtime too, so damage is also coming off from the bleed. They've basically ruptured and they're bleeding like crazy. And right now, all this attacking is just not doing anything. It's just that bleed. And Minx dropping in a Longhorn, doing a little bit of damage. Triplicity microing a Longhorn in front of that one. You see that so often from these high tier players. But damage coming off of that fortress, and with overtime 2, half health. Grizzly Wing is reaching that point of no return at this point where, it's going to be impossible for them to win this game. And there's no defenses really on any of these outposts. They'd be easily takeable at any other point in the game, but I mean... Oh, and we do see a push out coming here from Grizzly Wing. Are they going to try and take that outpost? I do see Rebels in tow of those tanks, so it is possible, but with all this cash flow for Archetype and all these units coming out, it's just going to be a moot point. Broadside bringing back a Bertha. And yeah, I mean, this game going to end here in overtime too. This is pretty much all the defenses for the most part for Grizzly Wing, and that will be the game if, if Arch were to even make a push right now with these Gollies and Longhorns, without that, you know, starting defense for Grizzly Wing, I think they would just annihilate right now. Valinor using his rockets to take out Tangi. Now going for Broadside. And yeah, we're slowly going to see this game come to a close. Though we do see Minx rolling up with some sort of unit. It is a Longhorn on the front door along with her Osprey tickle cannon, her ground tickle cannon. And this game is finally going to come to a close. Though Triplicity, one last ditch effort to stop the damage. It's not going to help, but you know, that is the match. Archetype takes it in Game 3. Looking at those final stats, Valinor 12-7. And nobody else in the game going positive. Triplicity and Tangibility going even. And look at that experience difference. Almost 10,000 for, you know, what we see here.